Hello, 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 my safety friends. How are you doing today? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Bri Sargent. I am a CSP and I am the creator and founder of Safety Management Academy. So, thank you so much for joining us today or for watching the replay. So, I set a goal for myself a couple of days ago to say I'm going to go live every day and we're going to answer questions that have come in from the audience or discuss topics that they suggested from the audience as well. So today we are talking about how to get supervisors to fill out your safety reports. And I do have some tips on that. So that is a great topic. But if you have something that you want me to discuss, be sure that you just pop it in an email. Just send it to bri@thesafetygeek.com and include in the subject line AMA, like ask me anything. So that way we put it in the right thing. So that way it gets into the queue for me to answer your question. And then we'll send you a little email back and we'll say, hey, this is the day that we answered it. And here's a link. So that way, if you are busy and you miss it, then you know where to find it. But better yet, set up your notifications so that you're always notified when I go live. So you can do that on YouTube. I know you can do it on Facebook. I'm pretty sure you can do it on LinkedIn. I'm also going to go live occasionally in Instagram as well. That one's a bit harder for me to go live in. I'm still figuring out the technology on that. So right now it's generally Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So anyway, just to do some little housekeeping when I have these calls, I always like to welcome my new students that have joined me inside of Safety Management Academy. If you don't know what Safety Management Academy is, there's a link right here and you can check it out. But it is our comprehensive program that shows you how to build your safety program effectively and efficiently so that you're not missing anything and that you're always building a great safety culture, and it makes you look like a rock star. But I wanted to, so Melanie, welcome. I am so happy to have you inside the program. I reached out to Melanie earlier this week just to kind of give her a hey and welcome. And she's like, when I signed up for your program, I had time to do it. But now I'm like slammed. So I haven't had time to get in there and do your program. And this is a great example. And this is what happens to us, right? As safety people, our job is just so busy and so hectic and so chaotic that we do things with all good intentions. And sometimes we can't follow through because we are just way too busy. And that is why with Safety Management Academy, I give you lifetime access. It is not like you take the course one time and that's it. Like, I don't know about you, but I have taken the 501 course like 3 times because I let my certification slide. So it's not like that. You sign up and you get lifetime access. You get lifetime access to our group coaching sessions as well. So welcome, Melanie. I hope that I will see you in our next group coaching session, which is going to be on the 18th. So I'm very excited about that. The other housekeeping item that I wanted to touch base on was that I want you to mark your calendars for October 15th through the 17th. That is going to be our Safety Rockstar Summit. This is an online summit that will go on all day. And the way that I do my summit is they are pre-recorded sessions. So you get 24-hour access for free to these sessions every day. And we'll do 3 days of sessions. And I'm hoping to gather lots and lots of speakers. So that is my call to action for you today. If you know of anybody who would be a great speaker for the Safety Rockstar Summit, then I need you to share their information with me. You can do that in that same email. Just put like summit speaker or something in there and let me know who you want me to invite to the summit. What I'm looking for is for this to fill the gap that a lot of us have on career development. And those soft skills like leadership, negotiation, communication, resume writing, interview questions, looking for a job, as well as safety management skills that go beyond the regulations. So I'm not really interested in speakers that are going to be just talking about lockout, tagout. I want to know how you actually get somebody to follow that lockout, tagout rule and interesting out of the box ideas. So if you are interested, please go to thesafetygeek.com/summit and apply to be a speaker. I am always open to having new speakers or safety managers in there as well. If you know of somebody, then shoot me an email and let me know of their name. So we are actively looking for speakers for the summit. And you can also get on the wait list for the summit. So that way you know everything that is going on. So this chair is defective. So this chair that I happened to pick today in the conference room is as you sit on it, you start to lower down. So every so often I have to raise it back up. Anyway, so that's my housekeeping items. So what I wanted to talk about today was how you get supervisors to fill out your safety reports. So here's the thing. I'm a big data collection person. I think safety is driven by the data numbers, and that we want to have all the analytics that we can have, so that way we know where our problem areas are and that we can focus our work on things that are actually going to move the needle. So one of the ways that we collect data is by having reports completed by our supervisors or frontline managers or whoever it happens to be. We take all that paperwork report and we throw it into a data system, and then we're tracking it. And then the same thing goes for like documentation. If it's not documented, you didn't do it. So let's say you have to do a pre-shift inspection of your machinery, right? If it's not documented, then you didn't do it, right? There's that out there too, which is 100% true. So getting people to fill out those reports can be really difficult. So I wanted to go over a couple of tips on how you can do that. First and foremost, they have to understand how you are using these reports. So when a report comes into you, what are you doing with it? And how are you sharing that information? And how is that information making your organization better? So that's what they need to know, because there is nothing worse than being asked to complete a report and you do it and you turn it in and nothing gets done with that report. You feel like you've wasted your time and that there's no sense in doing that report. That ends up turning into pencil whipping of reports or not doing the reports at all. So make sure that you're taking that data and communicating to everybody who is filling out that what you're doing with it. So for example, if I was doing a machine inspection report, those would come in and then I would generate a piece of feedback that would go to employees or to the frontline supervisors that said, hey, we gathered 100 reports last week on machinery. 5 of them had preventative maintenance issues that we referred to the maintenance department, and 3 of those have been completed so far. And here is the trending stats that come out of this report, which are going to help us focus our efforts on things that will make our company better, such as these 3 continuous improvement projects, right? So it's a whole cycle of what you're doing with that report. So it's really, really important that you're communicating that. Number 2, you want to make the stuff that you're asking other team members to do an easy button. How can you make it easy? How can you make it simple? So ways that you might want to do this is shortening the report and make sure that you're only gathering the information that you absolutely need. So maybe you ask them to fill out a 2-page report once a week. Maybe you could take that and say, hey, fill out these 2 or 3 questions every day. And every day it's a different question. And by the end of the week, the whole report is complete. And maybe those questions get sent out to them in an email with a link to a form that they could just fill out that populates an Excel spreadsheet. Something like that, like, where are they going to be when they are filling out that report? And that's where it needs to be sent to. Are they going to be on the floor managing their people? Well, then maybe that report needs to be an app on their phone, right? Or something that they can complete on their phone. Are they going to be at their desk where they have a keyboard and computer in front of them? How can you design the report that makes it easy for them to fill out? Maybe they need reminders to do the report. So then you set up a text system that at a certain time every day, they get a text message with a link that directs them directly to that form for the Excel spreadsheet. So that way they can fill out that form. So make it an easy button. Where are they filling out the form? Send it to that location and edit your process for collecting that data. I know a lot of us can't afford the fancy LMS systems and apps that are like, right there in the app, you do all this stuff. And some of those apps are not simple. Some of them require 10 or 15 different steps to complete a form. And that is not efficient. Sometimes you could take the Numbers app on an iPhone and create a form where they just put, when is this completed today? What did you find? This, here's a drop down menu of choices, put in any notes and send it to me. I mean, it could be as simple as that. Another idea, so this is my third idea. So our first one was show them the data, show them what you're using the report for. Number 2 is making it an easy button. And number 3 is incorporating that report into something that they're already doing. So what reports do they have to fill out for their boss? That if they don't fill out that report, their boss is not happy, right? Put it on there. Maybe you can add 2 or 3 lines to that report. Maybe there's a report that they have to do for HR or for quality that you can add some lines in there and have them fill that out. And then, so one of the ways that I did this is we had an HR report that had to be filled out by our supervisors. And I redid the report so that way I had like a third of it was a safety. And then we made the report in triplicate. So the supervisor got one. This was all done on paper because a lot of times we think computerized is going to be quicker, but for the person completing the report, it's not. So in our case, our supervisors were completing these reports out in the field where they really didn't have reliable internet and he didn't have reliable cell phones. They didn't have a way to do it electronically. So we just gave them paper and left it up to us to do the data entry. And yeah, it makes it harder on us, but it makes it easier on them. So for us, it was more important that we actually got the report in. So for them, what we ended up doing was we created the form in triplicate. So they got to keep a copy so they knew what they turned into us. I got a copy and HR got a copy. So HR did their part of the form. And then I got to do my part of the form. And we ended up getting it more often, which the process before that was like HR had to sit down with them and complete the form with them. And that was super time consuming. So once we taught them how to do the report themselves and then did it in triplicate, it just made it really easy. I know that there's some reports that people have to do for production efficiency or for quality purposes, especially when it comes to like compliance for quality, especially if you're in like a food safety or chemical safety type of thing, type of field. Like that quality department, they can really nail people about getting their reports, right? See if you can add your stuff to that. So if you can add what you're doing to what they're already completing, it makes it a lot easier as well. So that would be my plan for getting my stuff from my supervisors. And like I used to always tell them too, it's like I would give them paper forms to fill out. And I was like, I just collect them once a week. I collect them. But then I would create a report from it and I would share it. So it would be harder on me because I'm doing data entry, but this might be a great task for like a low level data entry person. Maybe you can scan those reports to somebody that isn't paid, the same salary as yours. There are outsourcing services that can do all the data entry for you for very low cost. So that could be one way that you get around it as well. So anyway, that's what I have for you this week. I hope that I don't see any comments. I know people are watching because I see that. Yeah, but I don't see any comments. But like I said, if you have a topic that you want me to talk about and discuss in these live streams, I'm trying to fill up my queue for at least a month. So that way I have enough to try this out for the next month. Make sure that I keep reaching for my mouse. My mouse is not connected to my computer. Make sure you email me at bri@thesafetygeek.com. Put AMA in the subject line so that way I can differentiate it from everything else. And I will see you tomorrow on Friday. Tomorrow will be Happy Friday. Today is Happy Thursday. So I'll see you then. Bye for now, everybody.